Doctor Who radio show. And that's the way it goes, and I'm better known as Dave. Now, after all the discussing and looking forward to the first Peter Capaldi season, season 8, let's go back 10 years ago. 10 years ago to this day, this week, Doctor Who began filming for the very first time on a series in 16 years. The first proper series since the 1989 series featuring Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor. In between that time, it hadn't quite been alive, but it hadn't quite been dead. We had the 1996 Paul McGann 8th Doctor TV movie. 9 million viewers in the UK tuning in for that. We had several very successful and actually world leaders in terms of internet animated dramas. Death Comes to Time, Real Time, and what was meant to be the official 9th Doctor story with Richard E. Grant as the official, this is fact, continuation of the series, The Scream of Shauka. Richard E. Grant's 9th Doctor was actually meant to be the official 9th Doctor before the next one, who of course would make his appearance in 2005 in The Story Who Rose. Chris Eccleston's 9th Doctor with Billie Piper's Rose Tyler. 2 years earlier, in 2003, Lorraine Heggessy, the then controller of BBC One, had been working tirelessly to persuade BBC Worldwide to give Doctor Who another chance. It was considered that due to the increasing popularity online, that Doctor Who did have viability as a commodity and property. Things such as Big Finish had demonstrated that Doctor Who could be sold with new stories, in this case the classic Doctors 5, 6 and 7. And also the 8th Doctor himself would return in 2001 I think it was, with brand new audio ventures, proving that new stories, whether it was classic Doctors or in the case of Scream of Shauka, a brand new Doctor, it would actually work. There was a desire to buy the product, as it were, known as Doctor Who. Also, it had seeped into the public consciousness with things such as Dead Ringers, both on radio and then on television. So really, the time was perfect, absolutely perfect. At the same time, the BBC had been offering Russell T Davies the opportunity to do any programme he wanted to. He'd had success primarily with Quill's Folk. Being gay himself, he'd written a classic TV series examining modern, at least at the time, lives of gay men and women. He was asked again and again, you can do any programme you want. Basically, the BBC's way of bribing him to, giving him a reason to say yes. He had full control, full creativity, full yes or no on any project he wanted. Yet he kept continuing to turn them down for one reason. Well, actually two words, Doctor Who. Quite simply, if the project didn't have the words Doctor and Who in it, he wouldn't agree to it. He was a confirmed fan since the generation of William Hartley to Patrick Troughton. Quite simply, he didn't want to do anything else. He wanted to do Doctor Who. It was his dream come true. He'd also been influenced by Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And you can see a lot of influences in that when he brought the show back. Eventually, the BBC had said yes. So we had two people championing Doctor Who, and the rest is history, as they say. And when they brought it back, they brought back a show which embraced the very best elements of the classic series, but also embraced all the possibilities and freedoms of the new era of television. bringing Doctor Who back in the same way that the 1996 TV movie wouldn't be good enough. The problem with that TV movie, quite simply, was that it had way too much continuity. There wasn't any breathing space. Paul McGann was perfectly fine. He fitted into the role of the 8th Doctor so well, it's such a shame that he never really got any more episodes. The production values were absolutely beautiful. The TARDIS interior was one of absolute wonder, inspired by Jules Verne's. An absolute triumph in terms of science fiction design, and really brought to life the majesty and mystery of the TARDIS. But as a story, it kind of it kind of fell apart really halfway through, but not exactly dreadful. Years later, the new series would actually inherit the faceless titles and the big production values, and also, of course, the love interest between the Doctor and companion. Just like the 7th Doctor era, with the arcs and better background to characters, the new series would include those. So, in essence, what you have is a situation where the new series was continuing what the 7th and 8th Doctor eras had actually began, fleshing them out and making them not just simply something explored, but actually part of its very fabric. When Doctor Who did return, of course, it got 10 million views, and this was merely the start. So as Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper were filming what could have possibly been just one series and nothing more, little did they know that quite literally Doctor Who would be proving the BBC wrong on so many levels. Michael Grade would have to eat some sour grapes, the BBC would be shocked, Doctor Who fans like myself would be deeply shocked by how incredibly successful it was. Not just simply successful, but literally beyond anyone's imaginations. 10 years ago, a legend was reborn, and I think Lorraine Heggessey and Russell T Davies in particular, as well as Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper, should be thanked. Every single person who worked on that first series should be given thanks by both classic and new series fans, because without them I wouldn't even be doing the video right now. That's the way it goes.